let's assume we have this magic crystal ball that actually tells us when to close the road, where to divert traffic, where station our patrol vehicles, in order to, if not prevent something from happening, at least minimize the impact. So we have a challenge. We're talking about data. We have data growing every day exponentially. The challenge with data that we have is sheer volume and the noise. And that we just don't know what to trust. So first of all, we have a problem with business analytics. It's based on the past. It's not reflecting the current situation. That doesn't reflect future. Then second, because data is not trustworthy, we don't trust it because it's noisy, we tend, in the organization, have our own pockets of data, and we base our decisions based on these little pockets. And as such, organization is not aligned quite often. And third challenge that we have in our industry is that data actually comes in all shapes and sizes. Let's take road operations, or road traffic management. We have phone calls, which is voice. We have social media feeds, which are text. We have video camera footage, which is video files. And then on top of that, we have connected vehicles, which is trajectory GIS coordinates. We humans can understand and relate all of this data together. Machines can't. Machine is not very intelligent. So the challenge that we have is that how do we get all of this data and interpret it in a way that it actually means something? So once we learn how we process this data, we suddenly have a transformational process. So we no longer react to the accident that has happened and we send patrol to attend to that accident. We know that there is a risk. We do something to prevent it from happening, and your operations go suddenly over from reactive to proactive. And the decisions you're making are not anecdotal, saying, I know that my colleague told me 5 years ago in that spot of the road there was an accident, maybe I should do something about it. No. You look at your road network holistically. You understand what risks you have in current time at this very moment and how they evolve, and you mitigate these risks accordingly. And if you as an organization succeed to have this data that you trust all collectively, you no longer have your pockets of data. You actually have one big data mud, and you take your decisions based on that. And suddenly over your organization goes from siloed to aligned. So we have a ton of data. This is a very busy slide, but this is what needs to be taken when you talk about doing digital twin of a road. A lot of parameters. Yet it doesn't reflect one big parameter, a radical human behavior. This is a static slide. We live in very dynamic environment. This does not reflect 5 p.m. Friday night rush hour when you have tired parents driving to holiday destinations with screaming kids at the back seat. So we take all of that data and we complement that static data with conventional data sources, which change every minute. And when we have a way to analyze this data and process it in a way, suddenly we have a good picture, but that's not all. We need to know how we process that data. So we have millions and millions of data points, and we need to do something about them. So every data alert, every alert has digital print. It has context where it comes from, the source where it came from, time and location. And we analyze all of that, and we put that together and try to find correlation between them. And we do cross-source analysis. So let's say we have a camera that detects a stopped vehicle and Waze tells you a stopped vehicle. They're approximately the same location. So as an operator, instead of having 2 alerts, you have 1, because we cross-correlated them and say, yes, it's a high degree of probability, it's 1 alert. And we eliminate 30% of noise. Then what we do cross-type correlation. Let's say you have Waze stopped vehicle, we have camera detecting pedestrian on the road, we have emergency lights with the vehicle detecting, and we have loops telling us there is a congestion, half a mile down the road. in isolation, every single event tells you something. But the ability to understand, actually, these are not 4 different events, but one is where you need the machine learning for that. And that is how we distill information from 100 events. We have 7 to look at, because the rest is they give you additional information. And you look suddenly over, instead of 100 of alerts, you're looking only at 7. And you understand much better what's going on. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have no sun, you have below freezing temperature or close to freezing temperature, you have high wind and high humidity. Black ice is forming. However, if you put it in this context that it is a couple of hours before rush hour starts, you have a totally different picture. You have no cars on the roads, you have black ice. Even if you have salt on your surface, you have no vehicles to disperse that. Rush hour comes, you have potential very dangerous situation. And that's how we distill, and that information we pass on to other systems and to our operators, and I pass to Angela to say how they use it.
Thanks, Olga. So for those who don't know us, we are OpenVIA. We are the innovation and technological platform from the Global VIA Group. Global VIA is a world-leading infrastructure concessionaire, managing roads in Europe, in the US, and Latin America. From OpenVIA, we drive Global VIA's innovation practice. We help Global VIA with the technological transformation. And we also team up and partner with different startups and tech vendors to help us develop our own software for O&M to manage operation and maintenance activities. We've created this solution that it's Lantern Geomic, where you can manage real-time, and you have a holistic view, real-time management of an incident, from the detection to a ticket solved. And I have to say that over the years that we've been working together, it's been a wonderful journey, very insightful, and it helped us question very much our status quo and how we operate and how we do things. So Geomic, for those who don't know it, it's basically designed by operators, road operators for road operators, and it's a digital portfolio of tools to facilitate the management of the O&M daily activities. Through the map, you can actually manage real-time incidents. As I said, you can assign a nearest patrol if there's an incident. You can allocate necessary resources from the nearest warehouse. You can connect with emergency services. We've been integrating emergency service to give a faster answer to what's happening on the road. We can also do staff dynamic scheduling, or even combine with the daily and annual planning activities. So, as I said, we've been working with Lantern over probably more than 2-3 years, and we would like to share some of our lessons learned. We've deployed Geomic Lantern, which is the sum, as I said, of our O&M solution with a data fusion capability in 5 of our assets in our concessions now. But our idea is to expand this new way of operating roads based on data in all of our roads. Today, we wanted to share our experience in Ruta 27. Ruta 27 is in Costa Rica. It's a heavy traffic corridor with ongoing construction, tropical rain, slopes. I mean, very interesting road to manage. And we had a massive challenge, as Olga was saying, is that we had too much data. We had data coming from social media, WhatsApp, calls from users, and that was a nightmare for the control center. So in the first phase, what we gave them was a game changer. We helped them see through all the noise and identify the events that had to be managed. And it was really, really good for them because we eliminated the duplicates, we eliminated anything that was not relevant at that precise moment, focusing on real-time incident identification, but all wrong-way driving, stop vehicle detection, slow traffic flow, anything you can think of, but also by start using risk prediction, which has been very, very, very hard to start using because it requires a lot of trust. But once that trust is gained, because you see that the risk prediction is working, you start deploying lots of different quick wins. Relocating surveillance units where you know that the risk profile is changing, automating via VMS messaging, when the risk profile has dramatically increased and you know that there's heavy rain, that there's heavy traffic, and the risk of having an accident it's very, very, very high. So we got really great KPIs, as you can see, 50% increase in detected events. I would say that right now it's even more, 50% increase in attended incidents. And above all, I would say that the people in the control center feel more empowered and more like safe because they have the data to take decisions. However, we are taking this data journey to the next level, and we want to make obviously an operational transformation because basically this is not only about tech, this is about changing the way we operate, this is about questioning if the processes that we've defined 10 years ago are the ones that we need to have, or if data is taking the way we operate to next level. So we are designing a new way to operate, which is from accidents forecast to accident prevention. And this is a new way of interacting and talking with the roads, guaranteeing that all safety alerts are available in real time for the control center and eventually for users, because at the end of the day, the users are the ones who need to have also this information. We're paving the way for the future of roads through operational transformation, and we're studying and defining new procedures, as I said, automating certain responses, which, believe me, this has been a major challenge because automation in control centers requires a very high trust on data. We're also deploying third parties integration for, as I said, a major and faster response, defining new procedures, because at the end of the day, it's, as I said, a new way of operating based in data, based in accident forecasting. And Olga was mentioning the crystal ball, but which sounds lovely, but taking that to reality and trusting data and trusting crystal balls, it's always a challenge for people, for our mindsets, and for the way that we've been operating in control centers for the past 15 to 20 years. We have a video here that shows or illustrates what we've been telling. Basically, right, as you can see here, you detect a risk event. It's not an incident, but it might become an incident. So right now we're working on the automation of this process. As you can see now, that event that comes from Lantern goes directly to Geomic, which is our control center software, where we can basically change the messaging and alert the driver that they're entering into a risky area because there's rain, because there's heavy traffic, whatsoever. And as a key learnings, I would like to share, to wrap up, that data and AI is a journey that needs to be planned. This is not only about tech, although we're in a tech conference, and this is a tech and AI session. This is about having a common purpose that engages all the stakeholders on the road, workers, control people, operations, maintenance, the community itself. And once that you have that common purpose, that it's simple, it's making roads even safer, it's saving lives, it's about changing processes, about questioning how you've been working over the past years and being humble and understanding that that needs to change. And it's about culture. At the end of the day, it's about people. Thank you.